Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to I guess I have a podcast now. This is the 20th episode and I've been hyping it up for a couple weeks, but I wanted to make this episode special and just talk about 20-year-olds and the path that we're taking to get where we need to be or where we want to be. So I wanted to interview a couple 20-year-olds just to see how their life is going. I aimed for about maybe 3 to 5 people, but I only got to sit down with about 2 people, and I haven't really mastered the art of interviewing yet, so it's a little awkward. But I did get to peek into a couple people's perspective. One of them was a friend of mine, Brian. He is a firefighter right now, and he's navigating how his life is changing into something new and different every day. And this other person I spoke to, his name was Mark, and he's going through a time of his life where he's just trying to navigate where to go next, and he's making up a plan as he goes, as you can see. So, yeah, these two have different perspectives, and I wish I got to speak to more people, but like, unfortunately, I couldn't. Schedules and stuff like that. But here are a couple conversations I had. I hope you enjoy them. Also, in the background, that is SZA's 20 something, but it is a cover. It's a cover of the instrumental. So, copyright people, please do not attack me. It's a cover. Thank you.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hey, um, I'm Carly, and I just wanted to ask like some basic questions about your life, I guess.
Okay.
Okay. Um, so I just have this podcast, and it's really small, so I don't know how many people are gonna like hear it, but yeah, I just like doing interviews sometimes.
Right.
Um, so
What's up?
thank you, and also I'm kind of like a little bit awkward.
Cool.
Cool. So, how would you like to introduce yourself?
Well, my name's Mark. My nickname Mark. That's what most people call me by. I'm from Peoria.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, okay, this is unrelated to the interview, but like I usually just like to ask people this. Like, since you're here in Peoria and you're from here, like, what made you want to stay?
Well, actually, I've been in and out of Peoria. I don't necessarily want to stay in Peoria, but like, it's just certain stuff happened in my life where it was like I came back to Peoria and I just had to like build my way back up and trying to get out of Peoria. So it's just confused.
I feel that. So it's just like a back and forth.
Like,
Okay. So, like, with that, like, I guess, how are your 20s going?
it's it's okay. I mean, it's more like the learning process.
Yeah.
Definitely like since I've been in my 20s, you gotta like look at stuff in layers. You know,
Yeah, like you see it as like a build up.
Me, like 20s is really like it's like your make it or break it season. Either you gonna make something happen or you just gonna, you know, do fall.
Right. So is it like going how you planned, or is it just going?
It's going totally opposite of what I planned. Definitely, but like sometimes stuff works in my favor, sometimes stuff doesn't.
Yeah, that's natural. If you could, would you change one thing and keep everything else the same, or keep one thing the same and change everything else?
That's actually a good question. Uh, I would say neither.
Mm.
Just simple fact, like I take everything as a life lesson. So like everything I'm going through is just like I feel like it's a meaning behind it. I'm supposed to go through it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me personally.
I see.
Wait, can you repeat that?
What I said, you seem like the type of person to have no regrets because you just accept that things happen.
Somewhat. I wouldn't say that. Like, not necessarily.
How would you describe it?
Uh, More like mistakes. I would say.
So, do your mistakes make you look at yourself differently?
Definitely. Like, I have made the same mistakes probably repeatedly. Like some mistakes repeatedly, but it ends different every time. You know. So
Mm,
like, I personally try not to make the same mistakes over and over and over again. Because like it doesn't get you nowhere.
right. I'm going through that right now too.
Yeah, definitely. It's just more so like if if somebody does something to me one time, for instance, say like I let somebody borrow $5 and I let them borrow $5 again, they don't get it back. That's like shame on them. And then the third time it's shame on me. Like that's how I look at life now. Like certain shit, you shouldn't like let it repeat or happen to you again. You know,
Yeah. So, if you could just talk to your teenage self for a few minutes, what would you say?
if I could talk to my teenage self, I'd probably tell them to don't give up. Definitely don't give up and make wiser decisions, life choices.
Mm, I like that. And if you could talk to your 30-year-old self, what do you think he would say to you?
Um, if I could talk to my 30-year-old self, I don't know. I couldn't like really tell you. That's a good question. I don't know. It's more so like now. Like I remember, somebody told me I can't remember who, but somebody told me that like right now you should be talking to your future self. Like 5 years from now you should be setting something up. So 5 years from now you could be doing whatever you know,
Yeah.
like real estate if you want to do school or you know just talk to yourself from the future as far as like money, finances and stuff. That's where I'm at kind of right now.
Right. So you're just like getting that plan set up.
Yeah.
I like that. So overall, in this moment, would you say you're more so proud of yourself or disappointed?
I'd say it's a mixture. I'd say I'm proud for like how far I've come in life, but then again, I'm not proud of myself just the routes I took because I could have took better routes for me.
Mm. And that's
So
okay.
it's like mixture.
At least you're learning.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty much all I want to ask.
Oh, that's all.
Yeah. I mean, like, is there anything on your chest that you want to add?
Um, no,
Cool.
nothing I can think of right now. No.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Thank you again.
No problem. You have a good one.
You too. If you are hearing this noise, we are about halfway through the episode. And next we have Brian's segment coming up. And I just wanted to stop and take a break for a second because throughout a lot of these conversations, or just throughout the interview process, I notice a lot of us have issues with the amount of time we have or the amount of money we have. And that kind of gets in the way of the learning and growing that we all go through at this time and that we go through just over the span of our lifetimes. Because there's no one way to live your life, but the media tries to portray like we're supposed to be all in the same place. When really, how do I say this? Money is important. Prioritizing your time is important. But we must know, we have to realize that those are just things that have been set up by a system. The system that wants us to doubt ourselves, that wants us to make sorry, that wants to make us feel like we're struggling. And at the end of the day, the more wrapped up you are in the system, the more it'll have you worried about money and about physical things. When really, it's supposed to be about this experience that we have, the connections that we make, the growth that we nurture in ourselves and in other people, and always choosing authenticity and love. But that's just me. I just kind of went on a tangent there. And we're going to go into this next part. Thank you for listening. Feel free to take a break, get some water, get a snack. I don't know. Enjoy. Okay, so you said your 20s are boring?
Kinda.
Wait, I did not do an introduction. Hello. um, this is my friend Brian. He's 20, 23, 22,
23.
23, and he's talking about his life. So yeah, elaborate.
Uh, I don't know. No, I'm in the weird area of like summertime where there's no school and jobs are kind of slow. So it's boring right now, I guess.
That's fair.
The only things I like to do lately are just hang out with friends like you.
Yay. So, are your 20s what your teenage self imagined them to be?
No.
Like, in a good way or a bad way?
Definitely in a good way. Because I didn't think I'd be having this volunteer firefighting job.
Nice.
I definitely didn't think I'd be in a burning building at some point.
So, like, how does that feel?
Hot.
Okay.
It's pretty intense, actually. You have to strap yourself in like full gear, like 10 pounds of gear, like steel-toed boots, thick-ass pants, jacket. It's like a straight up winter jacket.
Mm-hmm.
And a helmet and a gas mask and an oxygen tank in your back that's like another 10 pounds.
Wow.
And you have to always be like crouching like real low, like this, because smoke will go like above your waist area and you just can't see through it.
Wow. Like, so, like, are you used to that, or do you have to get reused to it every time?
I'm pretty comfortable in it, which is like weird for most people. But like when I went into my first like burn tower stuff, I was like, yeah, I can totally see how this type of stuff works.
Yeah.
I get it. But that might just be because I like prepared for it. I like read up on stuff like it. So I don't know.
Do you see yourself doing this for a long time?
Since October last year.
Okay. So, like, if you could talk to your teenage self, what would you say?
Do better in school, bro. Seriously. Classes are expensive. You keep fucking failing them.
Jesus. If you could talk to your 30-year-old self, what do you think he would say?
I don't know.
That's fair.
I'd probably tell myself lottery ticket winnings and stuff like that and get rich easy.
Okay. If you could, would you change one thing and keep everything else the same, or would you keep one thing the same and change everything?
I'd change one thing.
What would that be?
I don't know yet. But I already like myself enough to where just changing one thing would be like me enough to where I'd still like myself.
Nice. So, overall,
Probably bigger dick.
random people are gonna hear this.
Yeah? And?
Okay.
So what if everyone knows I have a small dick?
You know what? That's confident, you know? That's not a lot of men could just like be like, hey, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Size of a tick back, but won't leave your mouth minty fresh.
Woo! It's just details.
I'm lying, by the way.
Okay. Take this with a grain of salt. Whoever's listening. Um but wow. Overall, for this decade, are you accomplishing all your goals?
Yes and no. I'm accomplishing like half my goals, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm definitely on like the right track to get them. I'm still like slacking with school stuff, honestly.
Yeah. Are you proud of yourself?
Overall, yeah.
That's good. So, there you go. It was definitely an interesting experience just to like peek into these people's lives. And once again, thank you to them. And thank you to everyone who considered um, interviewing with me, but like you didn't have the time or like it just didn't line up. Like that's completely fine. In the future, I do plan on doing more of these interviews as I get better especially being someone who's socially awkward and socially anxious. But yeah, um, and for this last piece, I I had some bloopers with Brian. We were just joking around. You feel free to listen to that if you want. It's it's all completely jokes. So just like yeah, just take that with a grain of salt. And yeah, the transcript for these conversations will be up on brokeadultblog.wordpress.com. If you'd like to interview with me or if you're curious, feel free to go to that WordPress site or go to my Instagram, Atlantis in Photography. I'm Carly O on Twitter. Yeah. And in the future, I do plan on, having episodes about like actual topics as I continue to post actual work on my blog. Because lately it's just been musicless and this is not on purpose. But yeah, sorry to ramble. But yeah, I just wanted to clarify that I will be like putting more effort into just genuine topics on here. Like if you would like something like that to be explained, I might get into heavier stuff like that. Or else I could just do more lighthearted stuff, like discussing why everyone is right-handed, stuff like that. It just depends. But I hope you enjoyed this. And yeah, I was going to add something about my journey as a 20-year-old, but um I already talk a lot, so I don't know how I feel about like sharing right now. But thank you for listening, and I hope you have a beautiful day. So like, yeah, I think that was all my questions.
Hell yeah.
Now I feel like um that one episode of Adventure Time when like I don't know, Jake went on this adventure and he was just like a brick in like this old wall. And then like Finn was just like sitting with him on the radio, but he didn't know the radio was on.
I don't remember this episode.
Oh my god. Wait, let me stop recording.
Wait, don't stop recording yet. The Jews faked the moon landing. 9/11 was an inside job. Bill Gates eats people by making their insides melt with the vaccine. Then he comes up like a mosquito and just slurps it out of you. Don't trust the media.
Oh my god.
Okay, cut the recording.
These have not been researched. Please take this lightly.
They are researched. I did my own research off google.com.
Just a reminder that little end piece was a blooper and should not be taken seriously. Thank you again for listening. And I'm sorry if I come off as like edgy or fake deep or quote unquote woke. I just I'm goofy but also somber sometimes, and it's a weird combination. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and um next week will probably be a song list or just some interesting perspectives about hair maybe. But thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a beautiful week. Um please call me out if I say anything offensive or wrong.